Yay! Welcome back to the third gas laws video. You are now on to page 41. Go you! Okay, that was some enthusiasm to maybe make this more exciting than just staring at your iPad. Okay, what we're going to learn here is we're going to learn this process. There are lots of different words to go, but it's basically being able to identify information that's in a problem and use it to solve a problem. So this is really just problem solving, which is easier to apply to gas law problems, but is something that you will hear a lot of in the rest of your science education. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1, and I'm going to read it out loud, and then we're going to identify our known information and our unknown information. A cylinder with a movable piston contains 26.4 centimeters cubed of gas at 21 degrees centigrade. If the maximum capacity of the cylinder is 56.8 centimeters cubed, what is the temperature in Kelvin to which the cylinder must be heated to extend the piston to its maximum position? Okay, so I see known values of volume, and this is volume 1, whereas this must be volume 2 because this is the piston expanding completely. And then I see temperature 1, and then the question asks me as an unknown value for temperature 2. Okay. Other things I want to consider is pressure and number of moles. So in this chemistry problem, we're going to assume that we are under the same amount of pressure, because what's happening is that as pressure builds up, the piston is actually being pushed up, and so the pressure is going to remain constant, believe it or not. So as the volume adjusts, pressure remains constant. And then we're going to assume that the piston is sealed, because if the piston had leaks, it probably wouldn't be extending completely, and that wouldn't use all of the information. So these two are constant. So now I'm going to look, I know that I need an equation. Actually, let's take a moment and let's write this in on our paper. So we're going to take our knowns, which is, I'm going to list out volume 1 is 26.4 centimeters cubed. Temperature 1 is 21 degrees Celsius. Volume 2 is 56.8 centimeters cubed. And then under known, we can list our constants, and it's probably a good idea just to be thinking through what's constant. And so this is going to be pressure and moles equals constant. Then under unknown, we are going to have our temperature number 2. This is what we're solving for. So these two things are constant, and I have volume and temperature. So this tells me, looking at my notes here, that I'm going to be working with Charles' law. So the equation I'm using is going to be V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2. The next step that is perhaps not stated here is we need to think about units. Currently we're in centimeters cubed and degrees Celsius. Okay? Centimeters cubed is the same thing as milliliters, so we're going to need to take this number and we're going to need to divide by 1,000 to get to liters. Okay, and then our degrees Celsius, we will need to add 273.15. Okay, once you get your units transferred, then you're just going to plug it into this equation and solve. So this is just going to be basic algebra at this point. So I'm going to leave you there and let you enjoy math that makes sense.